And so, Representative Manglona, you are now Senator-elect. Just your initial comments on your victory on Rota.
Well, I'm just so grateful to the people of Rota for their continued trust and faith in my ability to represent them on the Senate side. The difference between the Rota elections, Rota and Tinian elections versus Saipan elections is that even as a representative of the House, we still have to get the support of the entire island. And so the process was also the same for the Senate, where we get the full support of the entire island. Whereas on Saipan, representatives only focus on their precinct, whereas the Senate focuses on the entire island. And so I'm just so grateful that the people who had trusted in me for the last 2 terms in the House continue to place that trust in me to represent them in the Senate. And so I'm extremely grateful and appreciative of that.
And why did you pursue the Senate seat? What are some of your ambitions that you couldn't achieve in the House?
Well, one of the main reasons why I chose to run in the Senate was going back to my initial plan when I first ran for the House, and that is to open the doors to the younger generations to try to seek office, if that's in their plans or if that's in their passion. And so being in the House for the last 2 terms has given me the opportunity to seek the seat in the Senate, to work with the 2 other representatives in the Senate for Rota, and to open up the door to other individuals wanting to seek office. And so by understanding the candidates that are wanting to seek office in the House, that gave me the assurance that whoever the people will elect will represent them well.
So you were the top vote getter with 905 votes, or that's 34.35%. What was your message to the community? Because you are not under any particular party, or an independent.
Right. The same message that I always shared is, despite not being affiliated with any party, but also getting the support from the Democratic Party, I ran as an independent under the assurance that despite who wins the majority or which party gets the majority in either house, I'm willing to work with both sides of the aisle to so long as that the decisions that I will be making are within the best interest of the people of Rota.
And just to clarify, because this election, independent could mean 2 different things. Are you under the Palacios Apatang ticket? And are you endorsing them for the runoff?
Yes, there has been a video of me speaking at one of their events on Rota. I have thrown my support behind the Arnold and Dave tandem for this runoff election, and I have full faith in their abilities to do well for our CNMI.
All right, and so the Independents and Democrat coalition, we know you met with your other newly elected members. It appears that your agenda is, will be achieved if the coalition sticks together. So what are some of the top legislative priorities that you have in mind?
Well, we haven't really discussed that as a Senate leadership, if that's where we're going. But what I do hope that we can focus on, at least for the district that I represent, is to look at areas in which was neglected by the past administration, whether it be to protect certain individuals or corporations. And my hope is that with my Senate counterparts, we can achieve that. We can look at shipping costs, for example, as well as more investment into tourism, mainly for Rota.
Right, and there is talk about that Senate leadership. We know that Babata and De Leon Guerrero are going for the presidency. Perhaps you'll be vice president. Is that something you're considering?
That's past practices that would be the case, but we haven't discussed yet who will be the next Senate president, and so if I'm willing to give that seat up to either one of the Saipan Senate, should they would like to keep that leadership amongst them. But I am also focused on the committee work where a lot of the decisions will be made.
And you've been instrumental. You were the chair of the Ways and Means Committee in the House. You saw the budget process in detail like no one else did. Now you'll see it on the Senate side. Possibly there won't be a conference committee this time around because of the new majority, but I guess what's the approach there now? So you would like to be the chair for the Senate side of that?
Like I said, we haven't really gone into discussions about that. However, I also have faith in my current vice chair, Rep. Karina Magofnia, now Senator-elect. And so, when we do come together and talk about committees, the Fiscal Affairs Committee is something that I would, want to continue to be a part of, whether it be the chair for that committee or in some other role.
And I'm curious because we've been interviewing the Saipan politicians who won their races. But what are some of the major concerns from Rota? I think when you think of Rota and Tinian, you often think about their voice at the table because things tend to be Saipan-centric. Right. So is that something you're also fighting for Rota to have an equal say in the affairs of the Commonwealth? Absolutely.
The difference between the Senate and the House, right? In the House, we only have the one representative for Rota and one for Tinian. In the Senate, what a lot of people have mentioned and what I've noticed is it hasn't necessarily been Saipan-centric, but more of party-centric. And so my hope is to continue working with the other two Senate members from Rota as well as Tinian to try to get, to bring back representation for the other two districts.
Great. That's all the questions I had, Senator-elect. Is there anything else you'd like to say or address to the public?
Thank you, Thomas. I just want to express my sincerest appreciation and gratitude to the people of Rota for their continued trust and faith in me. And, I don't make promises that I can't keep, but what I have always promised was to continue fighting for and protecting the interests of our people, especially for the 1st Senatorial District. And I've said this in the past gathering with 80 is that moving forward, I hope that the people who had placed their trust in me also place their trust in Arnold and Dave as we head into the runoff with the early voting starting tomorrow. I hope that they can see the good that these two gentlemen can offer CNMI, as well as work with the legislature in bringing the power back to the purse and addressing the key concerns that we've fought so hard here in the House and see it actually move forward in the Senate.
All right, thank you.